and today we're gonna be talking about karma. Perfect. Done. Hi, it's Belen Diaz, and this is the E-volve show. And today we're gonna be talking all about body language and how important it is for self-confidence. For that reason, we have bring a speaker today that is a bestseller author and an international speaker, and her name is Barbara Pease. Barbara Pease is Australia's biggest selling female non-fiction author, and she has established a brand presence for the business in every major economy in the world, ensuring the Pease name is synonymous with body language and communications around the world. Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Hi, Belen. I'm really good. Welcome from sunny Oz.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. We know it's kind of early there, so I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm a mum of 6 children, so early is not early for me.
Oh boy. So yeah, I was gonna tell you, why don't we tell us a little bit about you and your business, and well, the business that you have with your husband too.
Yes. Well, I'm the CEO of Pease Group. So we have a group of companies and we do a variety of things. But the main part is we train people on communication skills, how to be effective, and also how to get out of life what you really want. Most people don't know what they want out of life and they're lost. And so we focus on teaching them, one, how to work out their body language, their communication skills, and how to set goals, but set them properly. So how to think about it, how to manage your goals, how to change them if you want to change them. And that's what we do. Now, we've written 18 best-selling books.
Wow.
11 of those have been #1 around the world. We've been translated into 55 languages and we've sold 30 million books. So we love doing what we do. We do research and we look at all the science and we teach people what science says, but in a very easy, digestible way so people can put it into their everyday life.
Yeah, so important, because it's true sometimes like you get into a subject and it feels like it's so complicated that you don't really use it or like practice or things like that. And I think like communication and the body language is something like so important always for business or your personal life. So Barbara, how did all of this start? How did you guys come up with this idea, or how was your interest in this? Like it was something you have to work on yourself because you didn't feel your skills were good enough, or what was the situation?
Well, do you want to start right back of my childhood or just with joining Alan?
I would like to know when the interest about body language started.
Well, I think for me, when I was 12, I had 3 jobs. So I was always curious about how to learn new skills. Learning new skill is the one big tip that I can tell all women out there. You have to keep learning skills every day. You need to be a better person. So by learning one thing, and it doesn't mean you have to go to university, but learning something, even if it's off the net, that makes you a better person, that's really important. And I had that inbuilt in me. I was born with it. I needed to learn. So I'd get a job and I'd learn everyone's job in that business. So when people went on holidays, they'd go, oh,
Barbara,
she knows that job. She worked for free and she learned all the areas. And I did, but I was just not knowing what I was doing, but I was upskilling. I was learning everything about a business so I could have variety rather than being stuck in one job. And then I discovered newspapers. I was hired by an amazing woman to learn about how to be an advertising person in a newspaper. And I thought, I have no idea what I'm doing, but it sounds pretty exciting. And that was where my love of selling to people, learning, reading body cues, knowing if someone was going to buy from me or not. And then from there, I started my own business. I started a modelling agency, so I taught women and men how to hold themselves, how to present themselves well, how to go in for an interview to get the modeling job, how to walk, how to talk. And so that was my business. And then from there, a lot of the government departments had a lot of unemployed people who didn't have the inbuilt knowledge of how to go into an interview, how to present themselves, how to present their resume, how to use open body language to sell themselves to get a job. So they rang me up and said, would you mind teaching unemployed people how to get a job? I said, yeah, that's easy. So then I started teaching unemployed people body language, confidence, how to get out there, and also saying to them, when you do get a job, even if you start, there was one particular guy, his parents had actually programmed him that he would never be anything in life. And he came to my course and he repeated it to me. And I said, well, I don't believe that. What do you want to do? And he said, I want to sell cars. I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give you all the skills. And I said, I'm going to get you in on the ground level. So you're going to wash cars. But as soon as your shift works, you're going to go and sit beside the salesman and say, can you show me, how do you sell? How do you write the forms out? How do you do finance? What is involved in your job? So every day he sat with the salesman. And then he became the best-selling salesman in the car yard because he gave his time freely. He learned. So when a new position came up, he got the job and he knew everything. They didn't have to train him. So from there, I started teaching body language in all my courses. And there was a man called Barbara Pease, and he had some videos out. So my boss at the time had the videos, and he said, I think you should learn from this guy. And I said, oh, okay, I'll watch the videos. And I went, I love him. He's fantastic. So I used to put his video on and teach the kids and say, this guy's really funny and he's amazing and I love his work. So once we finish watching him, we're going to practice until it becomes natural. Because any body language skill you learn, it's practiced. It's like learning how to smile. Some people can't smile. So I teach them how to smile properly. And it's in the mirror practicing. So one day, after I'd been doing Alan's material for a long time, he actually came to do a course, a seminar in my town. And I was the first person to buy a ticket because I thought, I can learn more from this man. He's probably got so much more material that I don't know about. And is he real? You know how some people on stage or on video, they're not the people that they really are? And I thought, I want to know if he's cheeky and funny and bright and all those things, or if it's just a performance.
You were a fan.
He is the same as he is on video. He's the same in real life. So we just started talking. I bought some new material. I told him up front that I used his material to help struggling people learn about body language and confidence. I think our screens
no,
you're frozen. Yes, so then Alan and I just started talking and communicating, and that's when we got together, and we've just gone from strength to strength because we're two people. Two people are far more powerful than one person, and we just love what we do, which is helping people get what they want.
Yeah, and so much knowledge and so much experience. I think it's just brilliant. What a great combination, right? How life works.
It is, and it's good. And look, every day we do the same. We self-educate ourselves. We're learning new skills all the time, and that skill, the skill that I learned today, then I can teach someone tomorrow. So, you know,
totally. Yeah, so important to keep learning all the time, right? So important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask you, for the clients that you have, well, we can focus in women, but in general, do you feel like a lot of women are lacking of self-confidence?
Yes,
When
and
they come to your programs?
They do, and and most people think with the confidence issues that it's women that are not high ranking in, you know, in work jobs, but I deal with people who are, you know, in high government jobs who still lack confidence. They will say to me, oh, I think I might be able to do that. And I say, I can't even understand what that means. You are going to do it. So I need you to repeat sentences to me. And I do it with my friends all the time. I get permission from them. I always say, I'm sorry, but this is me. And, you know, just, it's like they don't want to show the world that they're confident, so they will backtrack and say, oh, you know, I think I might be able to do it. No, you don't think, you know, you can do it. And I think women, because we're the caretaker of our children and we spend a lot of time on our families, that sometimes we don't feel like we can be confident and that we can show the world that we can do things. A person asks me, can you do this? Yeah, sure, I can do it. If I can't do it, I'll learn how to do it. If I fail, who cares?
Sure, yeah.
Failure to me is a lesson. Now I have to work out, well, why wasn't it as successful as I thought it was going to be? So again, I'm upskilling, I'm learning something so that next time I do it, I'm successful in it.
Totally. Yeah, that's so valuable. It's so true. Like that, what you say, like it's just the your attitude about it. Like you have to be like, yeah, I can do it. And it's true, like sometimes women, like all these video series is all about that, like how we hold ourselves, or just for things that happen in the past, or just the society in general. So I think it's really important, the work that you do supporting people about their dreams and all this coaching that is so necessary for everybody. So, Barbara, I was gonna ask you to, like, why it's so important, the body language, to feel confident. How that something like that can change everything suddenly. Because I feel it's like just a second. I've done some trainings and some things, and you really realize it's just a second and everything changed when you meet somebody, for example.
So with body language, you fake it until you make it. So some people have said to us, well, you know, having open palms doesn't suit me. I like crossing my arms. Well, when you cross your arms, you're putting a barrier between the person you're speaking with and yourself. So they feel like you're being very negative. So what we teach people is you've got to open palms, you've got to learn how to smile properly, you've got to engage someone. Someone will buy you and go along with what you're suggesting if they like you. And if you're giving out negative body language signals, and especially to women, we are so good at picking up body language skills because we need it. We have babies who can't talk, and we've got to look at children and babies and know what they need from us. So we have extra wiring to pick up on when people are not telling the truth, when they've got negative body language. And a lot of times when we go to meetings, Alan will sit there and he will listen to the words. I sit there and I am reading the body language. I'm reading all the plays in the room, who's got the power, who's doing what. And when we go out of the meeting, we'll compare notes. And anyone listening to us would say, hey, they were in different meetings, but we were in the same meeting. And Alan will often say on stage, if you're going to an important meeting, take a woman. Wow. You listen to the content, but take a woman, because she will pick up on everything. And it's like you, if you're in a social gathering, you can look around the room and you'll say to your partner, you'll say, oh, that couple over there are fighting. And your partner will probably go, who? What? I didn't see. Where? Over there. Oh, I didn't know that. Whereas we are constantly picking up on signals, whether someone's negative or angry or having a fight, we can read it. So body language is really important. And one of the skills that I teach women is that if you're face to face with someone and you're doing all the hand gestures, being open, you're moving in, you're smiling, the natural smile, not tight lip smile, never tight lip smile. Means I don't really like you and can you get out of my space. Whereas if you show your teeth and your eyes light up, then people will know that it's a natural smile and that you're friendly and that they're going to bond with you and like you.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a situation, or any woman is in a situation where the body language starts closing, they start closing their arms, they move their body away from you. So they're saying, I don't like you, I'm going to escape you. What you're saying is offending me. I say, I can tell by your body language that there's something that I've said or done that may have offended you. And I'd really like to talk about that so that we can get back on track. And it's amazing that people say, oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, you said X, Y, Z, or I just felt like, you know, your body language was saying that you didn't like me. And then you can get back on track and they start laughing about it and say, oh, wow, you picked up that really quickly, or just to break the ice, because you can lose that person or that job or whatever you're wanting that's so important to you by having negative body language skills.
Wow, that's so crazy. It's true. Like it's like when you're talking with somebody, there is so much information is changing that it's sometimes if you don't know these things or you don't pay attention, you just react, but you don't really know what was happening or anything like that.
Well, we had a beautiful letter that just came in yesterday, and it was from a young Asperger's person. And he got a copy of body language. And Asperger's are very analytical, and no one had ever taught him body language. He didn't even know about body language until he got our book. And the letter that he sent just went straight to my heart, because he said now he understands what he has to do to try and connect with people. He didn't realize that people liked smiles. He was just like, I have a nephew who has Asperger's as well, and they're very analytical and they talk and they don't waste words. And this young person said it's changed his whole world. He
Wow.
understands how to communicate and he's practicing, and he'll say, I've just discovered body language and I'm just practicing. Is my smile, does it feel good when I'm smiling at you, or am I too close to you? Should I go back a little bit further? Like, he's learning personal space and he's learning how to just communicate with his body language rather than just his words. How cool is that?
How cool is that? Yeah, that's like so impressive and so important. And for the whole audience, I invite you guys to check Barbara's work, Barbara's and Alan's. They have a lot of books that are super important, body language. I also read some that are more like about how men do some things and women do another things that I think it's amazing. I need some of those too. But yeah, it's just like a lot of good stuff and a lot of information. And I would love you to share some tips about the body language to feel more confident. So for all the women who are watching today, they can practice this week about these, I don't know, positions, moves, or whatever. What it makes you feel more confident.
Okay, well, I've got lots of tips
Have a
for
really
you.
good posture.
Absolutely, but it's also to the point of when you walk into a room. A lot of people, women, walk into the room not wanting to be noticed. So this is a very important entrance. So it's shoulders back and it's not shuffling. Some women will shuffle into a situation, whether it's a networking group or a meeting or a job or whatever it is. And you cannot do that. You need to walk at the correct pace and you need to have confidence. And the tip of leaving that meeting is a lot of women turn around and they leave the meeting and they feel like they've got eyes staring at their back, which is, we don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my tip for women is before you leave the room, so that the last thing that the group or that person remembers is your face, not your backside, your face. So you turn around and you smile and you say, it was great to meet you, and smile, so that they go, wow, she's amazing.
Wow.
No crossed arms, no crossed arms, do not touch your face, don't touch your nose, don't cover your mouth when you're talking, because you might be nervous, but this can be picked up that you might be lying if you touch your face. Group of 3, but people who are looking at you think, well, what's she hiding? So everything needs to be open. The smile needs to be a real smile. You need to be leaning forward, and you need to be listening and asking questions as well, because we were given 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that's the ratio. You should be making people feel special by asking questions about them, because the most important thing to human beings is themselves. What else can I tell you about body language? We also say don't create barriers when you're sitting in an interview situation. So if you're interviewing for a job or anything, pull your chair to the side so that there's no barriers, so you can talk to the person without having this desk. And he might have a higher chair, or she might have a higher chair, you're in a lower chair. Stand up, lean forward. Don't be in a position of being, I'm a little person. It's like when I go to a meeting and they say, oh, please sit down in the waiting room. I say, no, it's okay. I'll stand. Because when you sit, if someone comes out to you, you're sitting like that, and you don't look like you're ready, whereas you're standing, you're ready for action. They say, come in, Barbara, thank you, and you walk at the right pace. Some of the other tips, which are not really body language, but they're my top tips to boost confidence is, 1, boost your knowledge every single day. Doesn't matter what it is, boost your knowledge. 2, believe in you. Don't let any person, mother, father, sibling, anyone tell you you can't do something, because you can do it. If you believe in you, you will find the steps. 3, find a mentor. Someone who will say, if you're speaking negative or say, I can't do something, they're going to say, oh, yes, you can. Is it something in your heart? Is it something that you really want? You need a positive mentor. 4, set your goals and do them properly. Don't just say, I want to be a millionaire. You're not going to be a millionaire. You need the steps. You need the deadlines. You need all the process that goes with setting goals, writing them down, putting them into A, B's and C's. That's what you need to do. 5, celebrate your wins. No matter how big or small it is. My staff laugh at me all the time because I'll do something and I'll go, yes, I did it. And they're like, why are you so excited? Because I did it. I achieved it. The small things make me so excited about life. 6, learn to network. Women get very awkward networking. No, have the right body language. Take a buddy if you need to. Get out there. Don't stay in the same group. Go and mix with other people. Network, because you can set other people's RAS for them to look for opportunities for you. So if someone says something to me, I put it in my RAS, and then when an opportunity comes, I ring them and say, oh, hi, Sarah. I've just met a person. I think you two would be perfect together. So you need to learn how to network. And things that make you nervous, that's good. It's really good, because if it doesn't make you nervous, then it's probably not worth achieving. You've got to feel that.
Yeah.
Do what you want, not what other people want. The amount of people that have said, my mother wanted me to be a doctor and I'm a doctor and now I'm so miserable.
Yeah.
No. Change. Only do what you want. If anyone in your life is giving you negative feedback about what you want to do, you need to talk to someone who is doing what you want to do. Yeah. They've already traveled your journey. They're the ones that can help you. And anyone that's being negative, you don't have to be mean to them. You can agree with their right to an opinion, but you don't dwell in that. You do what you want to do and have your dreams, and don't share your dreams if they're going to be negative every time you say it. Still love them, but don't share it. Positive affirmations. Every day you get up and you say, you go girl, I can do this. This is what I'm achieving today. I've got it. And as I've said before, failures are your lessons. Be excited. If you fail, that's great. I've learned. Look at all the people that have failed in their lives. They're the ones that get up and they keep achieving. And if they fail, they just go, oh, I'll do something else, or I'll do it better next time, or that was a really great lesson. We've all failed. It's how you take that failure. You can dwell on it, or you can get back up. With me, when I have a challenge, I always look at it and say, yeah, that's a bit of a challenge, okay. Am I going to dig under it? Am I going to climb over it? Or will I go around the side? Which way will I go? I love it. To me, failures, challenges, that's what makes it an exciting world. And have fun. My last point is have fun. Follow your instincts. As women, we have the best instincts. Sometimes we don't listen to them, and we should, but have fun and follow your instincts.
Well, that's so much valuable information, Barbara. Thank you so much for all of this.
Oh, my pleasure. I've loved chatting to you today.
Yeah, it was great. We'll have all your information below the video so everybody can reach to you if they have questions. I'm very curious already about everything, so I want to just search everything about it. And what you were saying, learn about it and find a mentor or people who can help you to.
And one book that I would recommend for people who want to get what they want is, our latest book is called The Answer. And it teaches you how to find out what you want and how to achieve it. And it's got the step by step, which is a guide that you need. And it's changed so many people's lives. And for women, we need to read, digest it, and move forward.
That's so great. That's great. Thank you so much, Barbara.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.